Hello everyone, welcome back to Get Writing. Today we're learning about crafting convincing, authentic characters and plots that feel realistic, even in genres like science fiction, fantasy and horror, where the physical appearance of characters and settings are often anything but. How do you make a distant galaxy, an enchanted realm, or a haunted house feel as real and relatable as the gritty urban drama? Well, it's all about grounding the fantastical in the human experience. Today, I'll share 5 crucial pointers on how to achieve that with examples that make it all crystal clear. Let's get started. Firstly, in even the most fantastical of stories, human motivation is key. Audiences relate to characters that have desires, fears, flaws, and vulnerabilities, traits that transcend the genre. Think about The Expanse, a popular science fiction series that explores political intrigue in space. Despite complex future technology and sprawling galactic settings, the core of this story is about ambition, loyalty, fear, and the struggle for power, things that are all too familiar to us. The characters have believable motivations, whether it's Naomi's desire to protect her loved ones or Amos's struggle with his violent past. By grounding your science fiction or fantasy characters in these real motivations, you make their journeys relatable despite the incredible backdrop. Another great example is Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He's driven by an obsession with the One Ring, but beneath it all is a tragedy of addiction to the ring, a very human flaw that readers can understand. His internal struggle feels heartbreakingly real, and this realism makes him much more than just a mythical creature. Now let's turn to world building. For any story to feel authentic, its world needs rules and consistency. This is particularly important in genres like science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Your audience will suspend disbelief, but only if the world you create has an internal logic. A great example of this is in The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It is set in a dystopian future, but Atwood bases every aspect of the society on real historical practices of oppression, which makes Gilead feel terrifyingly real and plausible. Readers can trace the logical progression from our world to this fictional one, creating a sense of realism. In the horror genre, Stephen King's It is an excellent example. The town of Derry feels chillingly realistic because of its detailed history, the flawed people who live there, and the way King grounds the supernatural horror of Pennywise in the very real horrors of childhood and the traumas that it sometimes brings. The realism of the town's social dynamics makes the supernatural elements feel even more disturbing because they intrude on an otherwise believable place. Character relationships are another crucial component. Realistic interactions between characters make any plot feel more genuine. Whether it's love, rivalry, friendship, or betrayal, complex and evolving relationships draw readers in. Take Stranger Things, a science fiction series set in the 80s. What makes the upside-down world and the monsters so compelling isn't just the mystery and fear they evoke, it's the friendships between the kids. Their loyalty to one another, the tensions, and even the romantic subplots make them feel like real people. In Game of Thrones, the relationship between Tyrion and Jaime Lannister is another great example. Even in a world of dragons and White Walkers, their brotherly bond is portrayed with emotional nuance, loyalty, rivalry, affection, and even jealousy. Their interactions feel real because they're based on the sort of complex feelings we all experience. But realism also emerges from consequences. Characters in fantastical stories should face real, lasting consequences for their actions. If they come out of dangerous situations unscathed, time and again, it breaks the credibility and therefore immersion in the story. In The Walking Dead, every choice the characters make has a tangible impact on the story. When a character makes a mistake, someone dies or a group falls apart. This lends tension and weight to every decision, making the post-apocalyptic horror setting feel grounded and believable. In Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling emphasizes the cost of magic. It's not just a fun power, it has consequences. Think of how Riddle's pursuit of immortality through dark magic turns him into the monstrous Voldemort, or how Harry's choices lead to real, painful losses, like the deaths of Sirius Black and Dobby. These consequences create stakes and emotional weight, lending a sense of realism to the magical world. Finally, focus on emotional reality even in extreme circumstances. When the situations are extraordinary, like facing down a dragon or traveling through space, the emotional reactions should still make sense to readers and audiences. In Jeff Vandermeer's Annihilation, the protagonist's journey into the mysterious Area X is filled with bizarre alien occurrences, but the character's emotional state is grounded in grief, curiosity, and fear of the unknown. This makes her experiences, no matter how strange, feel real. In The Witcher, Geralt's stoic demeanor in the face of danger is juxtaposed with moments of vulnerability, his sense of loss, his love for Ciri, and his desire for connection. These emotional beats make his supernatural adventures relatable. When crafting your own characters, think about how you would feel if you were in that situation. It might be unrealistic to fight a dragon, but feeling scared, exhilarated, or even overwhelmed with responsibility are feelings that audiences and readers can connect with, helping to make the unbelievable believable. To sum it all up then, to create authentic characters and plots in science fiction, fantasy, and horror, focus on human motivations and flaws, ground your world building in consistent logic, build complex relationships, show real-world consequences, and ensure emotional reality in extraordinary situations. By applying these 5 pointers, you can make even the most otherworldly stories feel as real to your readers and audiences as any drama. What's your favorite example of a realistic character in a fantastical story? Let me know in the comments below. Well, that's it for now. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more insights into the art of storytelling. See you soon.